Have you ever noticed that the deepest lessons of your life didn't come from those who loved you, but from those who hurt you? That pain taught you things that no hug could ever explain? Today, I need to tell you about something that completely changed the way I see suffering. And maybe it will change yours too. Because there's a cruel truth that no one wants to admit. We grow up hearing that love is the greatest teacher, that it's the kind words, the wise advice, and the unconditional support that transform us. But life has a peculiar way of inverting this logic, because many times it was the betrayals that taught you about loyalty. It was the rejections that showed you your worth. It was the abandonment that taught you to stay. And this isn't about romanticizing pain. It's not saying you needed to suffer. It's recognizing something Carl Jung already said. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Pain forces you to look within. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply invades, dismantles everything, and forces you to rebuild. Let me explain what happens in your brain when you go through trauma. There's a concept in psychology called post-traumatic growth. It's not about getting over the pain as if it never existed. It's about how pain completely reorganizes your emotional and cognitive structure. Think about it with me. When you break a bone and it heals, that point becomes stronger than before. Nature compensates, and something similar happens with the mind. Nietzsche said that famous phrase, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." But he wasn't talking about pretending everything is fine. He was talking about real transformation. When someone betrayed you, you didn't just learn about trust. You learned about intuition, about signs you were ignoring, about the importance of listening to that small voice inside you. When you were rejected, it wasn't just about acceptance from others. It was about stopping begging for love. It was about understanding that your presence is a gift, not a negotiation. And when you were abandoned, abandonment is cruel. But it taught you the most important thing, that the only person who will never leave you is yourself. I'm going to tell you something personal. There was a moment in my life when I thought I wouldn't be able to continue. The pain was so great it felt physical. It felt like my chest was going to implode. And I remember searching for answers, looking for someone to tell me everything would be okay, to comfort me. But you know what happened? No one had the answer, because the answer wasn't out there. It was in here. Pain didn't ask me if I was ready. It simply put me on my knees and said, either you learn or you repeat. And it was there on that cold floor that I learned more about myself than in all the previous years combined. I learned that I was stronger than I imagined. I learned that I could cry and still wake up the next day. I learned that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage in its rawest form. So let me show you what pain really teaches when you stop resisting it. First lesson, pain teaches you discernment. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop normalizing what hurts you. Your standards change because you understood the cost of not having standards. Second lesson, pain teaches you real empathy, not that superficial empathy of someone who has never suffered, but the deep empathy of someone who knows what it's like to be at rock bottom. You recognize pain in others' eyes because you've seen it in your own. Third lesson, pain teaches you about impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not joy. And understanding this frees you from despair and attachment. And the fourth lesson, the most important one, pain teaches you that you don't need anyone to complete you because you've already been through the worst and survived. You are whole. You always were. Look, I'm not going to tell you that you should be grateful for pain. That would be disrespectful to everything you've been through. But I will tell you this, the pain wasn't in vain. Every tear taught you something. Every sleepless night prepared you for something. Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, wrote something that changed my perspective. When we can no longer change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Pain transforms you, and this transformation is proof that you are no longer that person who entered the suffering. You are the one who came out of it. So if today you're on the other side, looking back and understanding what it all meant, congratulations. You didn't just survive, you evolved. And if you're still in the middle of the storm, holding on tight and thinking you won't make it, let me tell you, you will. And when you come out, you'll be stronger, wiser, more compassionate, because pain teaches you what no one else wanted to teach. It forces you to find yourself when you are lost. If this video made sense to you, leave your like. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And tell me in the comments, what was the greatest lesson that pain taught you? See you in the next video.